Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from Group 2 will be presenting about our project conserving water among the IUM community, which is our team member from me, Muhammad bin Abbas, the metric number 2113201.
Next, me, Wan Soilah bintu Abdul Razak, my metric number is 2126762.
Then it's me, Ibrahim bin Asrum, with metric number 211467.
And lastly, my name is Sarah Sophia, anak perempuan Bala Subramanian, and my metric number is 21157.
So I will introduce the first part, which is a background. So with the topic, we know that we do this we do the project in the IUM. So what is IUM? IUM, which is known as the Islamic University Malaysia, was one of the top university public in Malaysia that has produced more than 70,000 graduates and undergraduates. So then in order to make the sustainable practice of the graduates successful in IUM, Sejahtera IUM has been established. So what is IUM Sejahtera? IUM Sejahtera is established one of the agenda that is being established to champion the sustainability, humanity and sejahtera agenda of IUM. So by advising the humanizing education through maqasid syariah and sustainable development, sustainable practice towards graduates has been improved day by day. So however, there is still a lack of awareness among the IUM, such as we can see it in the lack of the conserving water in IUM. So what is conserving water? So water conservation is one of the ways to do sustainable practice by practicing using water efficiently to reduce unnecessary water usage. So IUM community have to give a better job as the IUM community have to give a good role model by practicing sustainable practice in IUM. So that's all.
Next, I will present about the objectives of water conservation. Firstly, is to build safe and beautiful communities. This is because to reduce water usage is to save the world. Most of our daily lives and most of the places such as clinics, toilets, gyms, cafes and mahallas require a lot of water. And then reducing our usage of water now means that this service can continue to be provided to the future generation. Water conservation requires a lot of effort from all people, and we can all make changes in our lifestyle to reduce our water usage. Second, to educate IUM students and the community to appreciate every drop of water, not only in IUM but also outside IUM. This is because water conservation will minimize the effects of drought and water shortages. Even though our need for fresh water sources is always increasing, but we have to know that the supply we have for fresh water is stay constant. So water conservation is also is a must to everyone. Next, water conservation also makes water available for recreational purposes such as watering lawns, trees, flowers, vegetable gardens, as well as washing cars and filling public fountains at parks. Failing to conserve water now can mean losing out on such uses later on, especially to the future generation. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
We'll be looking at the significance of conserving water. As we all know, water plays an important role in our daily life for various reasons. Firstly, the significance of conserving water is to assure that the adequate water supply for future generations. Although there is plenty of water supply on Earth, we should not take it for granted. This is because only 3% of fresh water is available on Earth, while 0.5% is available for drinking. Secondly, to raise awareness and educate the IUM community on conserving water by using water wisely and reducing wasting water. Third, by conserving water, it helps to prevent water pollution, water wastage, and water problems such as water cuts and prevent waterborne illnesses such as cholera, hepatitis, and diarrhea. This is because such disease is a risk to our health, and conserving dirty water will bring a bad effect towards our health. Next, by conserving water, it helps to keep wetland habitats healthy for animals such as fishes in the lakes and rivers of our UN. Last but not least, water conservation extends the life of the septic system and preserves the environment. This could be done in a way by reducing soil immersion. That's all from me. I'll pass it to the next presenter.
I will briefly explain the challenges in conserving water among IIUM students and the community. So, for the first challenge is the overuse and abuse of water. From this challenge, I want to highlight the 2 points, which is first is the use of ablution water, and the second one is to regular tasks. For the use of ablution water, we know that most Muslim students will mainly take this ablution water to perform ibadah, and some people have used the water in a good way, which is they have appropriately used the water. And however, some people do not realize that they have wasted a lot of water while taking this ablution water, such as they have opened the pipe, and then the water will overflow and the waste will occur. For the second point is do regular tasks. I want to point out the task which is taking a bath. For example, people also have the same problem as the ablution water for this part. People have to take the shower which is and above the average of 8 minutes. And other than that is climate change. For this climate change, people having issues with the river that flows through the university. There has always been a common discussion among the IIM community because of its milky light brown, or we call it as teh tarik. Then the river must be pumped and purified, that consuming a lot of energy, and thus there will be a greenhouse gas emission which will result in rising of global temperatures. And the last point is the water pollution, which will reduce and pollute the water supplies, and the food will be limited. We know that when the water is contaminated, the water supply will decrease, and also the food will also decrease. This is because we know that many foods need clean and purified water to make them. And that's all. Thank you.
It's a very recommendation for students to do laundry once a week. This is because laundry itself is one of the machine that consume most water. So when a student do twice a week, so it will just give a waste for the water itself. So next, it's a very recommend for the student to check for leak water. This is a very responsible, and every student must take this as a one job of take this as their job to check your water and inform to the authorities so that there is no water waste.
To conserve water, we should take a short shower to save water. Taking long showers consumes a lot of water, therefore we should take a short shower for less than 10 minutes. Next, do not throw waste such as food waste and your hair when you shower. because this could cause the sink to be clogged and water to not be able to flow in the sewage system properly.
Next, we have to turn off the water when brushing teeth. This is because when we turn off the water when brushing teeth, we can save at least 2 to 3 liters water, and we can use the water for another purpose that is more important. Lastly, we have to educate the IUM community for water conservation, because education about the water conservation is not only for the present, but it is for the future generation to appreciate every drop of water.
Next, we'll be taking a look at water conservation in the IUM and Mahalab. For example, this picture shows where students can save water around the musola. This picture shows that when taking ablution water, take a small amount of water and utilize it carefully. When washing your clothes, you should use water wisely. Do not use so much of water just to wash the face. That's all from me.
So this is one of the place for our group project, which is the IUM River.
That's all from our group. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.